Mix 100.5, the Desert's Best Mix. I'm Mazingo, and coming up on Friday, March 2nd, the legendary Boys to Men playing at Agua Caliente Casino right here in Rancho Mirage. Tickets still on sale now, hotwatercasino.com. And on the line, I've got from Boys to Men, Shawn Stockman. Good morning. How you doing?
Howdy doody. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. I had to start off, I say the legendary Boys to Men because 4 Grammys, 9 American Music Awards, 9 Soul Train Awards, best-selling R&B group of all time, and you provided the soundtrack for pretty much every junior high and high school dance I ever went to. Can I call you legends?
That's very nice of you. I thank you. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Not every day you're called a legend.
Well, I think you guys have earned it.
I appreciate that. We work hard.
So let's take it back to the beginning, because I remember the first time I ever heard you guys was Motown Philly. It was your first single. It was your first top 10 hit. And that was back in 91. So it was a while back. You guys were just getting started. What was that like to have such success with your first single?
It was pretty sick. I mean, just to kind of hear yourself on the radio, and then to hear yourself on radio stations in other cities that you've never been to before, and then perform in front of people that you've never seen before, and all that comes with, I guess, the success of a song. Like it was great, but we were young enough to kind of like be excited, but to kind of like it was almost like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like we were excited, but it was like we were put to work so heavy that it just became kind of like routine at the risk of sounding pretentious, but we're not at all. Like it was just more or less a thing where, okay, cool, this is what comes with it, and all right, we'll rock out, we'll have fun. We like screaming girls.
It's funny. You're not the first person to mention that. When I talk to artists on the phone, the founding member of the Commodores, I was talking to him and I asked him why they got together and why they started the group, and he said, we just got together to meet girls. And it just seems like it's an ongoing theme.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I would say that's the case. Let's put it this way. That wasn't the first intention. That was number 2, though. The first intention was the fact that we actually sounded good, and it felt good to us to sing together. That was like an aphrodisiac for us. Like that just felt amazing just to hear our vocals and our harmonies together. That was like euphoric. And, it just so happened that girls like it. So, obviously, we used that to our advantage as much as we could.
Silver linings,
yeah.
So, you guys, you do sound great together. You've got a ton of hits. You guys have a 25-year career. What are you most proud of with the group? Is it the awards? Is it the longevity? I mean, I know the music industry, there's ups, there's downs. Is it, when you get to run into listeners, people that tell you stories about how your music has impacted them? Like, what really makes you most proud?
All of those things are great, but I would have to say that the thing that makes me the most proud, considering the fact that we've been in this long enough to understand what to value. And the biggest thing that I value nowadays is good friendships, relationships, people that you stuck it out with for years and years and years. I could say that about my group members because we've been through a lot, and we've suffered some losses, and our career wasn't perfect. We've had our share of defeats, we had our share of flops, we've had all of those things. Yet we managed to still be able to at least tolerate each other enough to still want to do this, and that in itself is just something that's admirable in my eyes. Because the industry can really, and we've seen it, it can really flip people, and it can really turn people out, and in a bad way. So to know that we were able to still duke it out in the midst of all the drama and all of the changes of the industry and ourselves and all those other things, like that's what I'm most proud of. We managed to still stay friends after so many years, which is hard in a normal circumstance, not just in the music industry.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it can be. I mean, with the success that you guys had and the longevity with the group, is that, I guess that gives you probably the freedom to do some things, some passion projects. Is that what you would call the album that came out in October, Under the Streetlight? Because you're kind of, tributing or the groups that you guys grew up listening to, the stuff that really inspired you. Is that how did that come about?
Yeah. It was just a project that was presented to us, an idea that we honestly talked about and played with the concept of it for a long time, for years. between us and fans coming up to us, you guys should sing this oldie. You guys should sing that. You would sound good, singing this one. So we were like, you know what? We finally decided that, yeah, all right, let's do that. And but we kind of added a little thing to it, basically paying homage to those acts and to those groups who paved the way for guys like us to continue to do what we're doing today. And that's just our way of giving back. We're at a point in our careers now where you're right. Like we do passion projects now. We don't do anything that's contrived or it feels forced. So, if it feels good, then we do it.
And speaking of giving back and passion projects, tell me about Micah's Voice.
Micah's Voice is an organization that my wife and I put together to help support families with children with autism. We ourselves have a son that was diagnosed with autism at 2 by the name of Micah. That's the name of the nonprofit. And we just go around the communities in LA and in California helping to raise awareness and raise money to provide these services that a lot of parents don't even know exist. As you know, our government is in a weird place right now, and don't really have their priorities straight too much as far as like what to fund and what not to. And unfortunately, people with special needs and conditions is similar, kind of like at the bottom of the totem pole. So it's up to us as the human beings that we are to help those, and Micah's Voice does just that.
And where can people find more about Micah's Voice if they were interested in helping or if they needed help?
You can find out more at micahsvoice.com. We got all the information on how to contact us, charity events that we support as well, and events that we attend, because my wife and I are very active, specifically in the West Coast since we live here, as far as like attending events, throwing our own events, and so forth.
That's awesome. That's great that you guys get to do that. That's, I guess, one of those perks of having a level of success and having that longevity, because you can really lend your voice and your power to a good cause like that.
You got to give back, and we love kids. As a matter of fact, my wife and I just opened up a indoor playground in Woodland Hills, California, called Scooty Goots, and and it was just another passion project that actually my wife wanted to always do, and I finally conceded and said, okay, cool. And it's a really cool thing. We've been open for almost a month now, and it's been getting great reviews on Yelp, which is amazing. This is my first time I learned how important Yelp was.
Yeah, it's got strength.
Yeah, I didn't realize it. I didn't realize how strong Yelp was until we actually had to apply. And what's funny was we applied for our names. You have to own your name, and somebody else already took our name. And they were speaking on our behalf and speaking about the indoor playground. It was all good things, which is great, but we just want our name back.
So wait, you still don't have the name back?
Yeah, well, we're getting it now, but at first we were like, well, who the hell, took our name? And then they were like, well, you're getting good reviews, so that's a good thing. I was like, yeah, I guess, but it was like, can we have our name? You know what I mean? So, but it's been good. Everything has been great so far, and we can't complain. And this is another passion project. We love the kids. That's
good. It's good that you're getting that name back, and sounds like it's a cool venture for you guys. Back to the music, your Las Vegas residency. You've had that going on for a while now. How did that come about? How do you decide to come off the road and have just one place where you perform on a regular basis?
Well, it actually wasn't up to us. This was actually something that honestly very few people are able to even do. People think that let's put it this way: it's not as easy to acquire a residency in Las Vegas. It's very hard, and to acquire relationships in the inner workings of a lot of these casinos takes years, and it took us years. It took us a good 5 to 6 years before we were able to actually strike a full residency at a casino. And it's again, it just takes a lot of talking, a lot of negotiations with our management, and ultimately them believing in us, enough to say, yeah, sure, we'll take a shot. And fortunately, the Mirage Resort and Casino did, and we've been there for 5 years so far, and hopefully we'll be there for many, many more. So it's been great. It's any level of stability in this crazy music business is a blessing. So we're happy to have had this for as long as we have, and again, we hope to continue. And we've made some people happy, I think. It's been rated for a couple years, one of the best shows in Vegas. Again, that Yelp thing, people have been yelping about it, and it's been all good Yelps, and it's been a good experience thus far.
Well, I've seen you guys live before. I got to see you a couple years back at Agua Caliente for the Will Ferrell charity tennis event, and I got to say, you guys put on an amazing show. So it's why you're getting good Yelp reviews.
Yes.
How do you get ready for the show? Because you guys came out and you brought it. I mean, it was hit, it was energy. Everybody in the place was going crazy. What do you do before the show to get ready?
You know what? It's not some crazy ritual or anything. It's literally just us in the dressing room. Nate's probably playing PlayStation. I'm playing my guitar. Wanye's on the phone. We're talking. It's like our dressing room's like it's a man cave. So it's like we got all of our stuff in there, and we're hanging out, and we're talking about cars, and we're talking about sports and all that other stuff, and we just chilling. You know what I mean? So that's really what we do.
So you relax before the show.
Relaxed. Yeah. It's we relax, we chill, we stretch, and we try not to take this way too seriously. It's fun. We go out stage and we act a clown for an hour. So we gotta be loose.
Well, we're excited to see you on March 2nd at Agua Caliente Resort Casino. Tickets still available at hotwatercasino.com. Shawn, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. I had fun chatting with you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you in March.
Yes, sir.
Shawn Stockman of Boys to Men on the Desert's Best Mix 100.5.